Hello MGTOW, hello men, this is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about women's happiness and antidepressants, the truth about SSRIs. And this video comes to us as a request from David Mills, and here's what he has to say. Howard, I'm new to MGTOW and I want to express my gratitude for the wisdom you share with us here. I made a donation to your channel over the New Year's weekend, and I want to encourage others to do the same at whatever level they can afford. As a video producer myself, I appreciate the time and skill and preparation required to produce superb videos such as yours. My own suggestion for a Howard Dare video would focus on the ubiquitous overdosing of women on SSRI, antidepressants. As you pointed out, the feminist movement was supposed to make women happy, but they're gobbling up antidepressants now more than ever. These drugs kill a woman's libido, and a man's too if he takes them, and make women completely uninterested in sex. Moreover, these SSRI drugs kill the bonding instinct, though perhaps that's a good thing. But these drugs destroy what few good relationships that are left. Again, thank you, sir, for producing your wonderful videos. They are invariably the highlight of my day. David Mills, Huntington, West Virginia, author of Atheist Universe. Okay, that's a great comment, and I of course responded to that. And you know what I want to do here is just read through these comments and then respond specifically to the comments, and then give my view overall about perhaps some of the societal impact on men. And I want you guys to stick around to the end because I'm going to put a real interesting challenge to you guys. And I have to do it in this way, and you'll see why. You'll understand why I have to do it in this way. But it's really interesting. It's really fascinating. And I'll tell you about it at the end of the video. So here's my response to David's comment. Hello, David. Welcome to MGTOW. Thanks for the generous donation and the encouragement for both others and myself. I enjoy making videos and especially enjoy having a positive impact on men's lives. Women's happiness and antidepressants, the truth about SSRIs. That's a wonderful topic. I'll have to do a video on that. It has all the elements of a great video. I'll bet the drugs even kill the bonding instinct with their children and make them slaves to their doctors and the pharmaceutical industry. The video will take about a week, maybe less. I'm going to enjoy this video. Let me know if you have any questions or direction you'd like me to go with the video. Thanks again for the generous donation and the great topic. Best wishes, Howard Dare. And David responded to that, and it's a really great comment, so I want to read it, and then go on with the video. It's a little long, but it's worth it. So David said, for those unfamiliar with the term SSRI antidepressant, these meds are sold under the brand names Prozac, Zoloft, Celexa, Lexpro, Pralex, Luxvox, Clembadia, Effexor, etc. I'm sure I mispronounced a couple of those. They are prescribed predominantly in the United States, whereas most women in other nations of the world have never heard of these meds. Many women receive their first prescriptions after giving birth and becoming depressed because childcare isn't the panacea they envisioned. Howard is absolutely correct that these meds do adversely affect the bonding between mother and child, as well as sabotaging any of the satisfying sex life for the mother, and therefore for the father too. Most people taking these meds, whether male or female, are pretty much incapable of enjoying an orgasm. And who wants to have sex if you can't have an orgasm? In 1993, following the unexpected death of my mother, I was prescribed Zoloft. I read the warning on the bottle and the printed patient insert about sexual side effects. Being an idiot at the time, I thought, that's great. I'll really enjoy these sexual side effects, thinking that they were positive. Well, Howard, after taking only 2 pills, I was unable to ejaculate, regardless of how good the stimulation or how prolonged it was. It was the worst of all possible worlds. I could still get hard, and I still wanted to have sex, but I couldn't finish. Within a few days of my discontinuing the meds, all returned to normal. My advice to men is never to take SSRI antidepressants. If you're depressed now, you'll truly be depressed when your penis doesn't work anymore. In men, this problem is easy to see and understand. The real tragedy, however, is when women continue taking these meds on a regular basis, year after year, instead of recognizing their inability to have an orgasm as resulting directly from these goddamned meds. They falsely believe that they, as women, are prematurely over the hill romantically and sexually. No man appeals to them anymore sexually, and they themselves become sexually useless, even if they are still young and hot. not. Men are therefore pursued only for their pensions and their bank accounts. Several times, Howard, I've mentioned these well-known, scientifically documented sexual side effects to women, and to my amazement, the women had never previously made the mental connection between their frigidity and the meds they've been gobbling for years, despite the clear warnings on every TV ad and package insert. Some of them discontinued the meds under a doctor's supervision and were stunned that they once again craved the honor of having a penis inside of them. The moral of the story is that if you're a man and you have hopes of sleeping with a particular woman, you need to adroitly discover whether she's currently taking SSRI antidepressants. If she's over 35, she probably is. If she is in fact taking these drugs, then her ability to orgasm and therefore her interest in sex with you will be negligible or non-existent. So, save yourself a lot of wasted time and effort. Some people, both male and female, do indeed need antidepressants, but there are many different groups of these meds, non-SSRIs, which do not carry these relationship sabotaging side effects. The tricyclic group, for example, is highly effective at treating depression, but without the sexual side effects. These meds are rarely prescribed. However, because they have all gone generic and cost next to nothing, Big Pharma doesn't advertise them, and the doctors receive no bonuses for prescribing them. So if you're depressed as a man, my best advice is to masturbate regularly to porn. It's provided me a cheerful attitude about life. If you or your girlfriend or wife do indeed need an antidepressant, be certain it's not an SSRI. Okay, thanks again, David, for the great topic and the donation. So let's talk about this. David's numbers are accurate, and his description of the side effects are spot on. It kills women's sexual libido. It kills people's ability to empathize, to bond. It increases the chance of a child being born with autism. Serotonin is basically, a feel-good chemical, neurochemical in the brain, and when you block the receptors from, retaking it back into the system, there's more of it in the system for a little while, but it runs out and it doesn't get reprocessed by the body. So eventually the person can feel no relief. They take more and more of it, and yet their anxiety is increasing. There's no relief on anything. So, even pain itself just becomes amplified and never relents. And, this is the drug that's associated with many of the school shootings. Very simply put, it's treating a symptom, an imbalance in the person, in the hormonal system, in the nutritional system of the person. And it's giving them this temporary relief but at this horrible cost. They're not fixing the cause of the problem. So the continued use, they have to keep using more and more of it. And eventually the person's losing, the ability just to process serotonin, or to even have any of it. So it's this horrible, horrible situation where side effects are suicidal thoughts. Quite horrible. It's quite frightening, actually. And it manifests, in these horrible tragedies that we hear about. And further, if you look at the behavior that it causes in the women, it really is this breaking of the bonds between men and women, and they become these asexual creatures, which is really quite fascinating when you look at the modern day feminist and the modern day social justice warrior and the special snowflakes. So I think that you're going to find some amazing parallels between the side effects of these drugs and the behavior of the women in our society. And it's going to be like, well, here's the challenge that I have for you guys, kind of like a MGTOW detectives. It's fascinating. I want you to take the names of, some of these drugs, Zoloft, Prozac, Lexapro, that's a great one. And go ahead and just type them into the YouTube search engine. And what you're going to find is you're going to find people that have started taking these drugs and are documenting their lives on these drugs. And you're going to see some amazing transformations within these people. Zoloft will, bear you some interesting results. And I won't direct you to any one particular channel. And some of the people who start taking it, they stop taking it. And it's interesting to see what direction, they kind of develop in. And then others continue to take these drugs and they continue to document it here on YouTube. And it's very interesting to see what direction their lives go because, I don't want to spoil it for you, but they become very asexual. They come to resemble very closely a social justice warrior. They actually start to use certain words and adopt certain behaviors. So by all means, type that into YouTube. Look at the channels of the people and the, progress through the videos. And you will recognize some amazing parallels. And you will recognize some amazing personality traits. You'll be like, people that you have in your life, okay, that have unusual personality traits and quirks and disorders. I think you're going to recognize, oh, that's just like this person who's making this YouTube video. So go ahead and type those in and don't give these people a hard time. You know what I mean? And it's a very interesting bit of data. And I think it's going to bear some interesting results because you actually get to see the side effects of these drugs on people and the effect it has on their lives and their personalities and their outlooks. And you're going to recognize the side effects of these drugs in other people, in your life and in public life, and the attitudes as well. What if, so what I'm suggesting is that what if this altruistic poison throughout the West of wanting to take care of people that don't want to take care of themselves, and then, acting like that's compassion when you're stealing somebody's money to do it, based on the idea of, compassion, right? So just this completely, misplaced bit of estrogen outlook on the world. What if this is a side effect or partially related to, these kind of malfunctions in the hormonal system, in the brain chemistry? So by all means, check that out. And I'd really like to do a lot more on this video and this topic, and I'm sure I will be coming back to it in the future, but I'm going to leave it at that for now. So let me know what you think about this, and let me know what you discover in your research in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.